Chrollo vs Hisoka has always been one of my favorite fights in Hunter x Hunter. It really shows you how creative Togashi can be with his nen and with his fight in general. In one hand, you got Chrollo, who shows you how an expert nen user can combine the usage of different techniques for insane results. The shit Chrollo does in his fight is wild, you'll see it later. And in the other hand, you got Hisoka, who's only using one technique, but he mastered it at such an extent that it feels like he's using 3 or 4 techniques with his bungee gun. It's kinda sad to know that this fight will probably never get animated because I'm sure the Hunter x Hunter anime is never coming back. I am praying for like a 1-hour special for just this fight alone, but I digress. This fight has actually been built up since the York City arc. The whole reason why Hisoka joined the Phantom Troop and helped Kurapika was just to fight Chrollo. So this fight was always bound to happen, but enough with the yapping, let's just get into it. The fight itself takes place in Heaven's Arena, and I honestly think it's the best choice for it because it shows you how great Hunter x Hunter world building is. Togashi is able to use previous locations from past story arc to make the world much more lively. I guess I just wanted to praise it for some reason, but anyways. During this whole fight, Hisoka is having the time of his life. He never felt this level of joy ever before, and Chrollo knows it, so he came prepared as both of them are ready to battle to the death. Chrollo takes control of the referee and reveals that he's been gathering many nen techniques while he was under Kurapika's chain. Black Voice Fate Director allows Chrollo to take the control of anyone if they get stuck by his antenna. Of course, the referee is way too weak for someone like Hisoka as he easily destroys him, but at the same time, Chrollo reveals another nen technique, Sun and Moon. It lets him mark a target using either sign, and when the signs touch each other, they explode instantly. But to make it even stronger, he needs to mark the target for around 3 or 5 seconds for overall more damage or a wider explosion. With all this madness going on, Hisoka questions Chrollo on why he's going so far in this fight, and he reveals that he wants to win in style. That's the whole reason why he's taking this fight so seriously. And to make it even harder on Hisoka, he reveals another nen technique. On the surface, this one doesn't seem that good, but in the hand of someone like Chrollo and in tandem with his skill hunter book, it works perfectly. The double face bookmark lets Chrollo use more than one technique at the same time, even if the book is closed or not on that page of the specific technique. The reason why the bookmark is so useful is because in the hands of someone like Chrollo, he can utilize 3 or 4 nen technique at the same time, and even Hisoka knows it could be quite dangerous if he keeps up. This man Chrollo has so many damn techniques, he can prepare like Batman or some shit. It is actually wild. He can create puppets from already dead people using gallery fake, and he can control them using artist stamp, proof of humanity. He can also take the appearance of anyone he touches using convert hand, transfer student, or he can make someone else take his appearance using the other sides of the convert hand, transfer student technique. Chrollo is such a dangerous character to fight because all his nen technique work well with each other, and he discovered that nen can get stronger after death, which is why when he marks with the sun and moon techniques, it never goes off until the bomb explodes. The previous user of that technique doesn't make a difference between human and puppet, so I think that's the reason why the nature of his nen gets stronger after death or is different per se. Okay, now I'm done with the explanation. I had to do it because they're also important for the outcome of this fight, but this is the part where everything gets crazy. Chrollo started using the spectators against Hisoka, taking control of them and basically creating a whole army in the process. And honestly, I have never seen this in any shonen. Maybe I need to read more, maybe not, but this is insane. Using the spectators as puppets for your own plan and disguising yourself at the same time is elite strategy. Elite strategy. Chrollo during this whole fight really shows you that he is definitely, in my humble opinion, the best nen user in Hunter x Hunter. The only one that comes close to it is Kurapika because he is so versatile with his chain, but I think Chrollo is much more impressive because he has to steal the techniques of other people, and meeting the requirements of the skill hunter book is already hard enough, but someone who is this skilled and pulls it off means that he is just a genius. He is actually a genius. Even though I've been praising Chrollo's intellect during this whole fight, Hisoka himself deserves some praise. He was able to decipher most of Chrollo's plan or work around some of it. I don't think many characters in the show are capable of doing that, so it is definitely impressive to say the least. Seeing how insane this fight is, it really makes me wonder, how is Chrollo against Kurapika gonna turn out? Both characters have been set up to be parallels of each other, and they already have previous interaction to set the basis for their dynamic. So this fight is already bound to happen. Two of the best Nen users in the series in a fight to the death. Man, I cannot wait. But anyways, I'm getting way too off topic. To me, this fight is really down to who can counter who. For most of the fight, Chrollo is the one on the offensive. He's basically using the whole arena as a weapon, hiding in between spectators to be almost invisible and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. While Hisoka for most of the time is on the defensive, trying to find a way to counter Chrollo's plan and get a decisive hit. And I love it. It puts in perspective how smart both characters are, and it's always really interesting to see the plans, the thought, the idea on how to counter who, on how to counter him. The way Hisoka uses his bungee jump is so damn versatile. Such a simple technique looks so deadly in the hand of someone like him. He is able, of course, to stick to surfaces, use the string as a weapon, create sharp blades out of it, and even recreate limbs. To me, this fight is also the two sides of Nen and how they're represented in the fight. In one hand, you got Chrollo, who has many Nen techniques, but each of them have only one application. And in the other hand, you got Hisoka, who has only one technique, but he is so versatile at using it that he can basically counter any situation, and it's always interesting to see the dynamic between both of them. It is exceptional. Exceptional. At this point of the fight, Chrollo does some of the most raw shit I've ever seen in my life. He takes the mic from the announcer and is like, "Break Hisoka. This is so hard. Look how my goat is moving."
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Nah, when I read that panel for the first time, I was in shock. It is just so cool the way he says it. Nah, I need this fight animated. I am begging y'all, please. Animate this shit now. At this moment, it is no longer Chrollo versus Hisoka, but Hisoka against the whole arena, and he has to make sure to stay away from all of them because they're all marked with the sun and moon technique. So yeah, he's cooked. There is no way for him to win. This fight is just pure insanity. Seeing two antagonists fight is always some of the best shit in manga, and Togashi always was a fan of that concept, so I'm not surprised to see how good this fight is. Unbelievable. Like, as a Hunter x Hunter fan, if you dropped after the anime, you have to pick it up just to read this fight because it is peak fiction. The ending to it also is batshit crazy. Hisoka is running around the ceiling trying to avoid all the puppets, but they corner him, they jump him, and they fucking blow up. And Hisoka actually dies, but not from an explosion, but due to a lack of oxygen. Learning that Nen can get stronger after death, right before he dies actually, he made a Nen vow and he used his bungee gum to basically revive himself. That's the gist of it from my understanding. Man, this fight was crazy. Chrollo really said, "I'm gonna win 100% sure," and he backed it up. That's my fucking goat right here. That's my goat. But Hisoka really had no chance of winning. But it is nice to see him on the back foot for once. It's really entertaining to see how he thinks went back to a corner, and I think he did pretty good because everything was actually done against him. He was against like 100 people at this point. But you have to commend it. Not everyone can fight Chrollo at this level and actually survive an encounter with the leader of the Phantom Troop. But that's all I gotta say for today. This fight is so damn good. I had to read it for 3 or 4 times to have a pretty interesting script, and I'm really happy with the result. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and to subscribe, and peace.